turning 60
Look at us,
at
two men talking about women's body. Pam, 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 pam.
Feminist
Mhm.
Kings.
Hello, welcome back to the bonus content with David Dunning, the blackest comedian in Chicago. Yay, okay. Applause.
It's crazy.
Okay, again. Blackest comedian in Chicago. Okay, and we have one special question for you. Another question is,
Why are you gay?
there you go.
Wait, are you gay? Ask my nails, bro.
You are gay.
Good timing. No. This is the topic for the bonus content.
See.
I read this and I think it's very interesting. I know I'm a little like on a backtrack on this because it gets keeps repeating, but uh, I saw a Reddit post that says, "What is a time bomb in your that you think is gonna explode in your lifetime?" There were many answers.
Ooh, like a personal time bomb or like in a lifetime?
In our life, things that you're like, this is gonna go down and I'm gonna be still like alive. For
Oh.
example, one person, and I believe this is gonna happen, they say like the big earthquakes
Mm.
because eh, like for example the San Andrea like
Mm-hmm.
thing, like they're like, oh yeah, we're due for an earthquake since like the 64. And it's like, oh, and what happens when we don't have an earthquake for that long? And the scientists like, oh, that means the earth is building energy. It's like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Like Caracas is the same. Caracas, the biggest like earthquake that Caracas
Yeah,
had.
because Caracas is in a fault line.
Yeah, it's in a fault line. And the biggest it was like in 1940 something. And they're like, we are due to a big one. And it's like, I believe at some point we're gonna have a couple of super big earthquakes that we're gonna be like, what the fuck?
That's so interesting. Yeah. Oh man. You know what's so funny? Like thinking about natural disasters. It's part of the reason I love living in Chicago is because like our natural disaster is it just gets really cold and then
Yeah.
people are sad about that.
and we don't have sunlight.
Yeah, and then like there's a tornado, but like in the suburbs. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
that where the white people are.
yeah.
Jessica Misitano, shout out to Jessica
Sí,
Misitano.
lo siento.
She said that like tornadoes only hit spots where white people are.
Yeah.
And if you see the demographic
Tornado
if you see
alley.
a map of where the tornadoes hit, it's always like places that is like
'cause-
mostly white people.
Yeah, exactly. Tornadoes are reparations.
yeah.
That's why. It's like, yeah, you got all this wealth, but like you got to deal with it being destroyed sometimes.
Yeah, but
you know?
you gotta deal with wind.
Yeah, womp womp.
The only black dude, his house that get destroyed. It's like, what the fuck?
I think ticking time bomb probably I'll see in my lifetime. This is maybe like a safe bet. Is another housing market crash. I yearn for a housing market crash because
But I believe
rent.
that's happened kind of soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna
I
happen.
think in 2028, 29.
Yeah, well, cause the 2008 crash really fucked with me because both of my parents were realtors at the time, and they were both making crazy amounts of money and then nothing in an instant. And it was like, I read a statistic in college that was like, man, I read the statistic probably in like 2018 or something like that, but it was like 15 to 10% of families who were affected by the 2008 market crash still have not recovered their finances to like pre-crash levels, which is like true, definitely true for my family. Like we went from
Obviously, your dad died.
yeah, my dad died too. That didn't help. And but when the market crashed, both of my parents at the time were making 250 grand a year. So we were making $500,000 a year in the suburbs with like a huge house. Like, and then to go from that to nothing, my dad was like bartending. My mom was like scrounging for a job that would pay her like 40 grand a year.
Yeah, you have to downsize and all
I
that
know,
shit.
dude. We got the house the house like was up for mortgage. Also, my dad had died in the house, so we were like, well, we're out.
Wonk, wonk.
Yeah, womp womp. And I remember one of the craziest memories that I have was they repoed our Lincoln Navigator, and we had a Lincoln Navigator like straight out of the boondocks, bro, with like the drop down 2008 TVs in the back, and it was I mean, we were white, so it didn't have rims, but. I remember the dudes came to take the car, and my dad was like arguing with them, and they were like these big ass dudes, and they were like, "We'll fucking beat your ass, dude." And my dad was like, "My bad, amen." And I remember he was like, "Just let me get my cigarettes. Just let me get my cigarettes out the front." And the guy was like, I fucking guess. Like, okay, take it. And my dad, I guess he had like $100 in the visor, so he took out like that and like his cigarettes. Like I just watched this car that I like was in my child life
That's
like
so
go away.
traumatizing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. I was 12 at the time, so I
But
was like,
still,
I'm
it's
gonna go
like,
play Halo 3, and you guys can figure this out.
and they're like, no, they're taking the Xbox too. You're like,
No!
no.
Ay, Dios mío!
You speak Spanish? I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, my videojuegos! Yeah, I hope there's another housing crash. I hope there is, because
I don't know if it's happening. My prediction 2028.
2000. You think that's when it's gonna happen again?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2028, 2029.
Because what are we? We're 2026 right now.
I believe it's gonna happen with a Democratic president, and they're gonna blame him, but it's gonna be because of what is
Because of
happening
what's
now.
happened. I mean, that's how it happens every time.
And they're gonna be, you see, what's that guy?
I agree. Also, yeah, I think it would be ideal if it happened in 2028, maybe 2029, because that's probably when I maybe will have money to buy any kind of home. We'll see.
I believe. Okay, one another ticking bomb that I believe is gonna explode is that
Explode.
explode. That male loneliness is happening now, but believe it's gonna be fixed by AI like robots, and that's starting to happening, but it's still like in a
Oh.
early stage level. But I believe like the movie Her,
Oh yeah.
I believe that's
Ahead of its
fucking
time.
happening. Yeah.
Dude, that was a half court shot on social commentary that swished into the bucket years
Yeah,
later.
if I want to see it again because I believe like I've seen like clips and it's like this is and I remember a lot of the movie because like it was a really great movie and I was like
Mhm.
this is happening
Now,
now.
yeah, crazy,
So,
dude.
but I believe it's gonna get to that point that the AI is like
You
it's
know,
like,
and
hey, I want you to be with me in bed. So the AI hires a prostitute to go
oh,
and like things like that. Like, oh, I know you want a body, and I believe the
that's a great movie idea. Is like take her to the next level and just be like you have this parasocial relationship with an AI chatbot and it hires a hooker to come like have sex
yeah.
have sex with the main character. I don't want to say you because I'm not gonna be in this movie.
I
I'm definitely not in this movie. But like
have bitches.
to have sex to have sex with the main character and then it's like now it's this like weird throughway love triangle, right, where it's like, oh my god, are you catching feelings for this hooker? It's like, oh no, the sex worker like is catching feelings for the guy and the
Yeah,
guy
but
is
that
like
hooker is just you. Like,
yeah, I'm the hooker. I pay my nails like one anyway, so
yeah, but I believe AI. There's gonna be a weird moment of AI taking the men that feel lonely. Therefore, women are gonna start to feel lonely, and therefore, there's gonna be AI for women, and society is gonna start to be like,
see, I actually kind of think the opposite. I think that the male loneliness epidemic is not a ticking time bomb to go off, but a bomb to be diffused.
okay, I like that.
I think it's gonna get solved because inherently humans are social creatures and there's a lot of online discourse about it too and just in real life discourse that I think whenever there people are like men are having a problem, society is just so much more sensitive to male issues than they are female issues, just because of the patriarchal norms of society. Also too, I think that with your point of like, oh, women are going to become lonely, I feel like women are socialized as like young girls already to be like so much more social creatures more times than not. Like obviously it's not a blanket statement that I think if there was like women were like, ugh, I don't want to deal with men anymore. Like girls clubs are already like a huge thing. Like
Exactly, but that's already happened. But I mean, loneliness in the look for a partner. They're gonna have friends,
oh yeah,
and they're gonna have like booty calls. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
I think that's more of
But someone to like have a family. Like I have a friend that she was my ex. She lived in Bogota, and she was all this like, oh, women power, women power. I don't need any man. Blah blah blah. Blah. And she kept on doing this, and then she found herself in a spot that she's like, I wanted a family, and like the time, like I don't have the time
oh
anymore.
because she's older.
Yeah, and she got married like with a guy that like I knew, but I was the ex, so like I knew it was not the right fit. But it sounds a little really whiny if your ex is like,
Like
that's
he's
not the
not
right
for
guy for
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I clearly saw that you're doing this because you feel rushed, that
Mm.
you feel you gotta do things, and obviously that it was a bad match. They got divorced, and now she's like finding herself again, but she have to let go of this dream that she had of having a big family because like you like biologically
Timeline,
you
yeah.
can't.
That's tough.
And I believe that's gonna happen to a lot of
Is
women
she?
that right now are in this like, "Ah, I
How,
don't need a man."
how
Blah,
old
blah,
is
blah."
she? Is she that old?
Yeah, she's 37.
That's see, okay, that is like technically a geriatric pregnancy, but like
it's a danger, but also she doesn't have anybody to do it right now. So even if she wants to do it, she have to find someone, and then
If she's got the money, she
at
could freeze her
least
eggs.
yes, but at least 6 months, 9 months with this person to see. But she wanted to do organically and have a big one.
Fair, fair, fair.
So
I understand that. That is really, really tough because
and I believe that's gonna happen more.
I think with modern medicine though, like if you are old, having a kid when you're older, like 37 or 40, is like that's not great because then it's like, you're turning
But
60
look at us,
at
two men talking about women's body. Pam, 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 pam.
feminist
Mhm.
kings. uh, uh, let's see.
I'll put.
Well,
This is a clip. I'll put the music like button. Feminist.
I thought about
So
that.
women's bodies.
Women's bodies. Listen, I don't need to legislate anything.
I think they shouldn't vote.
I've thought about that though, because my mom is turning 59 this year,
Okay.
and I'm about to be 28. And my mom and my dad, they had me like right when they turned 30.
Okay.
They met it while they were going to their like 10-year high school reunion, dated for 2 years, and then I was like a honeymoon baby, right?
Okay.
So they had me like right at the time to be like, we're gonna live like a happy and healthy life. Ironic, dad died. Not that healthy. Be like that sometimes. But I'm like, if I waited and I had a kid when I was like 35, now I'm doing the math to be like, my kid will turn 20 when I would be 55, right?
Mhm.
And I think that far ahead, and I'm like, well, if I turn 55, I know how my body is now. I hope I do enough. I know the routines I have. I'm like, I hope I do enough in those 20 years, and I think I can do enough in those 20 years to be like fit and alive and like well enough to be like, I've raised you. Like now I get to see you as an adult, which is beautiful, right? Which is like so hard for your
Yeah.
friend who's now 37, right? And that's like, if you're 37 and you're having a kid, now you're 38. By the time your kid turns 20, you're 58, 50.
Yeah, which
I
is
did that
which is
math
that,
wrong.
yeah, no, but you don't have the energy.
Yeah, and that's really really hard, right? And then it's like now your kid has to deal with like you dying at a younger age, right? Like you if you would
Yeah, maybe like it is 30 and you die because you're 70, which is a normal kind of age to
no
die.
totally normal age to die, but it's like man, now you're really young. It's like now you're not that your kid is like off worse off without you, but like I have a lot of teachers that I work with who they're like 45 to the 55 range,
Mhm.
and it's like that's when their parents are dying because their parents had them when they were like kind of
Yeah.
younger, right?
Also, one thing that is happening and is that the rate of kids per families
Dropping.
are dropping
Yeah, birth rate.
drastically,
Birth
and
rate.
the birth rate is dropping. And I believe one of the ones that is like they're basically on the verge of calling an emergency is Japan because the birth rate
Japan, South
it
Korea.
went to 1.6 if I'm correct
Yeah.
per families,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like that if you do that for 2 generations, you shrink your population by a third,
Yeah, it's
which
crazy.
is exactly it's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Well, and that's why like white supremacists are all about like the great replacement,
Yeah,
like 'cause
yeah.
they use this like very specific thing where they're like we need more white people, and it's like bro, nobody's having kids because guess
We
what
don't have
happens?
the money.
We don't have the money, and also like it's just a tried and true trend. Like when countries become more industrialized into like quote unquote first world status, like more people just end up getting an education. When you get an education, you're less likely to have kids young because you're like, I one read a lot of books, two know the work that it goes into raising a kid well,
Yeah,
and three like maybe want to see the world, like I feel like
have experience and then settle.
exactly. I think years ago, decades ago, like having kids and then getting married were like milestones that you did together. But now it's like it was like a part of a relationship that you build over time.
Yeah,
Now it seems like no, no, no. Having the kids and getting married is like the capstone to a
yeah,
relationship.
it's like something that I will find you there.
Yeah,
It's not like let's build this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I want to live.
But also like before relationships, like oh we should buy a house together. Right now it's like we should rent a studio
I'm gonna.
together.
I know, dude. I'm like, I thought about this the other day. I was like, I might rent well into my 40s just because I don't have equity in anything
Yeah.
right now. And also, I'm like, I talk to my coworkers who like they don't. It's not the suburbs, but it's like basically they live in like Evergreen Park kind
Yeah.
of area. It's houses, right? They all own houses, and they're like, yeah, it's like a part-time job owning a house because like some shit goes wrong, and it's like, yeah, I could call somebody to fix it that like I know, but like I'm just gonna figure out how to fix it on my own. And I'm like, damn, like what if I ain't got time to fix that fan? Like
Yeah.
that's gonna be like let alone raising kids too at the same time. I'm like owning a house is so difficult that I'm like if I'm
Yeah.
gonna own anything, I'd rather own like a condo. Like it's put
There's
250.
something smaller, yeah.
Yeah, something small where it's like I can live there for a little bit. If I have a family, I could raise that family for a couple of years in that
And then
condo
move.
and then move somewhere and like sell it. You know what I mean? It just seems like the like I
I,
don't know.
and I believe everybody's like in this stage, so they're like, we are not having kids.
Yeah, I have a lot of I know some people who are child free right now too.
Also, there's a statistic. There's like this thing like they have with this we're gonna end, but they have already asked like, hey, people in their 40, 50s that didn't have a kid by choice,
Mhm.
uh, what's your experience and do you regret it? And most people were like, no, I took the decision in my 40s that like, I was not gonna have a kid, and I've been traveling, I've been doing this, and sometimes it affects me because I see how happy my friends are with their kids and like
Mhm.
and their accomplishment and how proud they are, and I feel I'm missing that. But that's like 10, 15, 20, 30 days out of a year. The other 300 days,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah. And my friend who's he's a teacher. He was one of my teachers in high school who I'm like close with. He's child free. He and his wife, and he was like, yeah, I'm in this group chat with a bunch of other like of my friends who are also child free in their 40s, and they just send each other pictures of things that they couldn't buy when if they had kids. So my friend, he's like super into shoes, and he's like, "Yo, I just got this new pair of Dunks. Wouldn't be able to buy these if I had kids." And then like all the other guys, some of the other guys in the group chat are like, "Yo, I just bought this fucking Mazda. Like I could have bought this if I had a kid."
And this one guy with kids is like, okay, guys, I get it. I got it. I got it. You should
Yeah,
stop now.
it's just like a group chat of dunking on this one guy.
Yeah, it's like 10 people and this guy that do
Yeah,
have a
he sends a
kid.
picture of like him and a family, and everyone's like, "Gay, gay, gay, gay." They're just sending pictures of like stacks of money.
Yeah, like Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. And like,
Paper.
okay, with that, don't have kids. And women should not vote. That's something
That's
that
incredible. Also, congrats on these too. That's so fun that you got it twice in a row.
yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the people who vote for this. That's amazing. And
Everybody, all those Chicago comedians, love this.
got together.
All the 12 comics who go to my buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 6 people at
Vote
Shubo's on
for
a
me.
Wednesday night.
But thank you so much. And with that, we're gonna end the bonus content. Adios.
Go Bears.